Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, coming in quick and dirty with my chart haul video for May 2K19. I got half an hour before I have to leave to work at the record store all day, which I do all week, so I try to get this fixed and over with pretty quickly. Feeling a little weird because I got water stuck in my right ear after taking a shower like an hour ago, so I hear only half of the stuff I'm supposed to hear and only on one side. So if I sound a little strange, I don't know, I'm pretty annoyed by this and I cannot seem to get the water out at this very moment. So you all know the feeling, it's pretty annoying and stuff. And before I go into this, well, I got the final confirmation from Munich for May 17th, which will be at the TamTam Sky Bar, a secret off location. So if you are in Munich and wanna come by, drop by, hear me DJing with Manu Luis and Dusty of the Jazz and Milk Recordings label, well, drop by, Google for the TamTam Sky Bar and you will find the location for sure, I guess. And the Liquid Concrete party I was supposed to play in September, on September 6th, has been postponed, so it's gonna happen at September 13th, which had logistical reasons for the party because there's another big drum and bass party happening in early September, so they wanted to have a week off in between the events and stuff. And well, we'll also be bringing back the BETA-ZERFALL party in August, the thing I've done in Kiel with my mate Herr Brandt, Brandt of the Convent, because we have this release together right now, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 remix on my new label, Caballo, Semental, and the party will be going in a range from indie to gothic wave, up to industrial, minimal wave, all that good stuff, electropunk, so there will be a whole range happening, and this is going to take place on August 10th at the MS Stubnitz, which is a ship in the harbor of Hamburg, an old ship, a fish trawler or something like that. And nice location, a lot of steel and industrial feeling and stuff, and we'll be joining forces with the guys from Lost Places. Also a wave, experimental, new wave, minimal wave related party, so for the first time we'll be at the MS Stubnitz on August 10th. A lot of information, but now let's dive deep into the records. For the first, I got some rare stuff which you will never see and which is unofficial and is mocking the Record Store Day 2019, which is Istari Lasterfahrer live at the Boiler Room on the Sozialistischer Plattenbau label. A 7-inch, as you can see, and here mocking the event, unofficial Record Store Day release. So he says, and the thing is, Istari Lasterfahrer is a producer from Hamburg, involved in breakcore, dark jungle, raggacore and stuff, and he's been running his label for 20 years right now. This is a special one because this is a lathe cut, hand cut vinyl copy. Only 20 pieces of this were ever made, so here you go, nice white label stamp stuff on this one. And musically, this is one of the best records Istari Lasterfahrer has done in the past years. Very underground, dark jungle, rave stuff, which is supposed to work, and it does, on both 33 RPM as well as on 45 RPM. BPMs are stated here, so at 45 BPM you run 45 RPM you run at 300 beats per minute. At 33 RPM you run at 219 beats per minute. So very fast, raw, dark jungle stuff for the collectors. Only 20 hand-numbered copies were ever made, so if you see this, buy this blindfolded, no matter if you're into dark jungle or not. And well, mocking the Boiler Room is a good thing, mocking the Record Store Day is a good thing, because from a record store perspective, Record Store Day sucks. And so this is a nice one to get, and we had one copy at the store because he did direct distribution and stuff, so I had to get this immediately. The next one comes from Leipzig, also a limited 7-inch. Relapse is the artist. This is just a 7-inch with an inlay, so I won't take this out. Really like the artwork. It's minor Mora, so the minor label has a 7-inch series with like a lot of like minor and then names, minor like minor Ursa, minor whatever, and 2 tracks on here. Your Mouth in My Hands is one, and the other one is a multilingual talk channel. Very interesting stuff as well, limited to 150 copies, in the realm of drum and bass, but more like experimental half-step drum and bass. So if you know the Club Autonomica things, or like stuff by producers like Emit or something like that, this is like drum and bass for the people who are like into electronica maybe. So good stuff, hard to get, hard to come by, and maybe not distributed in the US as well. So more stuff you won't ever see somewhere. Next one is an album, Jody Kendrick, electronic dance music. I really like that minimalistic graphic design on this one. On the Clone Dub label, the label, the artist, the album name is Electric Dance Music, and this is exactly what we got on here. A two album release. Musically somewhat in between like electro, IDM, like intelligent dance music, a little bit of Detroit techno, some electronica stuff in here, and if you know the Clone label from Rotterdam, well, this is exactly fitting. And this is a Clone Dub label, so they have like several sub branches happening, and yeah, this is good stuff. I played this already in Berlin, like when I DJ'd at the Maze, so it's been approved by the dance floor, I would say, and for all you graphic designers, this looks great. You gotta have this, and gotta play this. And now back to like 1995, I guess, like with a re-release, and the most beautiful like standard company cover that is to be found in electronic dance music at all. Power Music, distributed by Sexmania, distributed by Power Music. They are back. They have like a repressing deal with the German distributor DBH, and this one is Tech Funkers. Tech Funkers, the album Tech Funk is Where It's At, volume 1 out of 3. Excellent stuff. I guess Mr. Classic Jam, if you know, if you're gonna watch this, you will love this if you don't have this already. Classic label owned by DJ Duke, and music-wise, this is like proper raw electro with a bit of like freestyle and maybe breakdance vibes. Played this in Berlin as well. Went out propers, and I totally love the sleeves. So Power Music is back, Sexmania is back, and we will see a lot of represses from that staple. And now back to 97. Well, this is like electro repress time. The Unseen, Detroit in Effect, featuring The Man You Will Never See. A massive 6-track release on the, also on the Clone label, the Clone West Coast series this time. Between electro and ghetto tech, ghetto house, booty bass stuff. My favorite track is definitely Are You Married, which is like a typical ghetto bass tune for all those who love DJ Assault and his electro funk label, but it's not that dirty, so it's safe for work, not like very explicit, but you can sense like the direction the track goes at, and or is at, and this is like good stuff, booty stuff, and I'm all in for this. Now to the Black Crow label, Black Crow 11, Deepa and Beery Dominance remixes. This is good stuff as well. I really like the darkish artwork for sure. Deepa and Beery is a production duo that comes from Israel, and is like into the whole dub techno realm, and have been remixed by 4 artists. 4 tracks from the last album, Dominance, have been remixed by several artists, as you can see here. And the musical range goes from like proper darkish techno into a little bit of neo trance, into like up-tempo dub techno stuff. So more for the DJs, for the DJ tool lovers, but quality stuff. And Deepa and Biri have also released on the Detroit-based label Transmart, which is like a big staple in the techno world. So this is like a seal of quality there, and interesting to see that dub techno comes from Israel as well, because mostly Israel is known in electronic music for its like psytrance Goa scene for sure, and now more and more artists are emerging from other styles and like rolling into the world. So I've been talking on Instagram with the guy called It's Yoni, who's also from Israel, more into like experimental music, about this, and there seems to be a lot of stuff happening which we, at least in Europe, don't see necessarily, because our focus is more like Eurocentric, UK centric, and like of course stuff that comes from the US and stuff from the periphery is not that much talked about, although it's known that the whole region, Israel and Lebanon and stuff, are like booming in that kind of electronic music. So good to see artists from other parts of the world coming through. Next one I ordered directly because I found this on SoundCloud. Roberto and Jamie Anderson featuring Robert Owens, which is like the legend of house music. The Warehouse EP on Fossil Archive. Very darkish, minimalistic artwork, just typography. I don't know if you can see this properly. On here, Fossil Archive 009. This was recommended to me by Owain Kimber on SoundCloud, kind of, which is running the Innate label, which you've seen here as well. And well, this is, yeah, house music, Chicago house, Chicago acid, one side with like Robert Owens vocals. The Broken and Bare Essentials track are like very soulful, as well as Robert Owens vocals are usually, and this is a blueprint, very heavily pressed, very bass heavy. So one of my turntables had problems like keeping the needle on track, keeping the stylus on track, so I had to switch to another turntable. So you won't be able to play this on a like stereo turntable because they're like too lightweight and stuff. And now we're going into hardcore territories. Painbringer, the Dangerous Days EP on the Rave Instinct label, catalog number 002. And this is epic. The cover artwork is epic anyway, so have a look again. And this is like the return of Gabba rave hardcore, whatever. All tracks on here are well excellent. Here, and press unlimited orange vinyl, up-tempo 180 BPM plus, yeah, very rave oriented. And if you remember acts like R&B or Hard Sequencer from the mid 90s and combine this with like a proper like Frenchcore style production, like in terms of production quality, production value, this is what you get. And this is like very rave-oriented hardcore techno, like I love it, and good to see that this stuff is coming back as well. With the next one, we're into bootleg territories. Ariana Grande, Into You, Kaka bootleg on Night Slugs, and well, responsible for this one is Iconica, with whom I've played in Munich like a while ago in 2017. And of course, this is an Ariana Grande bootleg of her track Into You. Very future soul-y, meets bass music, very distinct, proper muscular production. One of those tracks, even though it's not that bass heavy like grime or dubstep is, one of those tracks who can able to tear up a whole grime floor just for being that great. And I totally love this. Not available digitally because like bootleg and stuff, so get this Ariana Grande Into You, the Kaka bootleg. And finally we're back to German bass. This was quite a surprise for me. Pesce is back with the Angels and Demons EP on infrared, which is like an old school classic label. Love the artwork. Here are the tracks, and this is like, yeah, heavy impact drum and bass, which could have been also released on metalheads or labels like that in the early 2000s, I guess. So here's the label artwork, not that spectacular. 4 tracks on here, so you can be sure that they have like a proper club impact in terms of production. My favorite one is Galaxy, a very tear out, sub heavy stuff, but classic. So if you're not into the whole neurofunk movement this is happening right now, and like want to go back to the old days style wise, these are tracks for you. And totally love this. Is one of the best drum and bass EPs, like double album, double 12-inch singles I've bought in quite a while, so I totally enjoy this one. And now I gotta hurry, like at least get this thumbnail cover done before I hurry off to the record store. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Maybe a little bit confusing in terms of me being not able to hear properly, and B, not pretty awake right now because I had problems sleeping once again. And if you like this one, well, you know the score. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to this channel, leave me comments. And if you want to support this channel and haven't checked out my Discogs seller profile, it's down in the description box, and you can buy also the other releases I've done recently from that Discogs seller profile. So if you want to get you some new music from yours truly, down in the description box is the link. And now I'm out, gonna go into editing, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See you later.